A quick trip to the grocery store, and it can be easy to fall into the same trap over and over again. Flashy packaging, promises of great taste, all meant to lure families and kids especially into eating what food companies want.
Even now, she's not even 2, but she'll see something with, a Sesame Street character and she wants that.
The food industry's success in targeting children, just one of the reasons researchers say the fight against obesity is unacceptably slow.
When we took a look at policies around the world and prevalence of obesity, we found that we haven't made a lot of progress.
The papers in the Lancet assess 187 countries and found no declining rates of obesity anywhere. Children in the U.S. are now on average 5 kilos or 11 pounds heavier than they were 30 years ago, and estimated to be the same in Canada. This despite decades of warnings.
It's critical that we focus on prevention, and prevention means focusing on kids.
But it's more than just individuals making healthy food choices.
The food industry is a formidable force in Canada. When you try to apply regulatory controls to them, they fight back. They do it behind the scenes, but they fight back.
Still, researchers are calling on governments to tax unhealthy foods and regulate school lunches. One co-author wants other jurisdictions to do what Quebec did in 1980 and ban advertising to children. This childhood obesity expert, though, says he's disappointed the Lancet research focuses so much on food. He says physical activity and a good night's sleep are just as important.
When I'm inside, I can almost reach the cookie jar from where I'm sitting here. If I'm out in the park, I can't reach the cookie jar, nor am I thinking about it.
Everyone has to eat, though, and back at the grocery store, some parents say they're fighting exposure to unhealthy foods with more healthy options.
A treat is, a container of watermelon or something. He's happy with that.
Most kids, though, do love junk food, and for the industry, the benefit is clear. One co-author put it bluntly: fat children are an investment in future sales. Peter?
All right, Thomas, thank you. Let's bring in Dr. Peter Lynn on this. Well, it's not just kids, it's all of us, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And it's the sugar and the salt, maybe. Because what the sugar does is that our body burns sugar. That's our fuel. So when you find something that's sweet, you're going to keep eating it because that's your fuel source. That'll keep you alive. Salt also is needed for our blood pressure. So when you're an animal and you find salt, you're going to keep eating that because that will keep you alive. Now, if you put the two together, salty and sweet, we've got a lot of those popcorn kind of things. I ate the whole bag. I just couldn't stop it because the combination is deadly. Now, here's the problem. If I keep gaining weight, take a look at this stat from the paper. Basically, by 2020, the non-communicable deaths will be 75%, meaning we're not dying of infections and things like that. We're dying of lifestyle things like heart attacks and strokes and those kinds of things. And that's really the biggest concern that we have.
All right, well, I'm confused. If we need it, then the solution can't be cutting them both out, sugar and salt.
Yeah, and they've tried cutting it completely out. So Campbell's Soup, for example, cut out 45% of their salt. And guess what? Nobody bought their soup. So really what these folks are saying in the research world is that we need the government to step in so that everybody's playing on the same playing field. And so I think that everybody should be doing it, but the more important thing is not suddenly. So let's do 5% every year and keep whittling it down, tune our taste buds away from this addiction, and maybe that's how we'll win.
All right. Dr. Lynn, thank you, as always.